We're backstage. We're public. Welcome.
Thank you.
We finally had a chance after, how many months was it, to actually come and check out?
A year, I think, right?
Yeah, since the club almost opened. It's been almost a year since we last talked. A little over a year, actually. A lot has changed in the last year. Can you tell us what's the biggest change so far?
Oh boy, biggest change. Just that I've been touring a lot of songs right now. It's really not that much has changed. It's kind of been a continuous touring. Actually, the biggest thing is that I'm working on my own record right now, my solo record called Disconnect, which is due, I think, Easter next year. Seems a long time away, but there's a lot of, setup and things that you do.
What do we expect off of that? What kind of feel? A rock feel?
It's a little bit of both, a little electronica, a little rock. I definitely am deeply immersed in the dance world, and a lot of my fans are dance oriented, and I love dance music, so it's a little bit of both. I sort of tried to take where I came from and combine it to where I am now. So
you obviously pour your heart and soul into everything you do. Is there a specific track that has more meaning to yourself than anything else?
I'm really picky about all the tracks I do. I don't really work on anything that I'm not. I go through a lot of songs and pretty much, definitely put the songs in the show that mean the most to me. So I have to say I'm really picky. They all mean a lot to me. Some definitely affect me more. It's funny, even though I've sang As the Rush Comes like 10,000 times, I still always feel that song. It's because the words are really amazing and the track is amazing. We have a new song, Around You, which is a very deep and sort of sad song that means a lot to me as well. It's kind of an older song as well. I have a new one called Heaven also. It's really cool, very simple, just about, how you can be in heaven, just, the words are just lying on the beach or just walking in the streets, the simplicity of life if we just pay attention to it, the beauty of it.
Now, you've had the chance to work with a lot of people, Josh and Dave, just as Walter bites my shoulder. Solar Stone,
yeah, Solar Stone.
Of Deep Sky, and a few others.
Yeah.
Which has been the most fun to work with?
Let's see. Well, actually, it's funny because Solar Stone, I just recently met them. I had loved the Seven Cities track, which is an older track, and they had sent me a CD, and I was listening to a lot of the tracks, and I just fell in love with this one. It wasn't even a dance song. And I started to write. It took me like 6 months because I was so busy. But I did all the vocals in my studio in LA, and we never met. And we just finally met. They came to LA and did a show. And this is like 2 years after we had worked on it. So that was really interesting because that was a very phone, email sort of relationship. Josh and Dave were always lots of fun to work with. Crazy guys. I have a couple, I can't say who I'm working with, but I'm working with some people right now. Everybody's a lot of fun. To make a great song, you have to have a great relationship, and you have to just all connect. And I think everybody's really different too. And as you can see, I did a lot of songs, and they're all very different. So I love to kind of work together with a common thread. So I won't single anybody out. Obviously, it's easy when you're not in the same room together now.
A friend of mine actually was asking, who do you think's cuter, Josh or Dave?
Well, they're both cute. They're so different. They're completely different. And we often say this, Josh is the therapist and Dave is Dave and I are patients and Josh is the therapist. But actually, I met Dave at a club and we were kind of flirting when we first met, so Josh is married. Very married. And we love Christy.
Excellent, good save. You have a new track out, Ghost.
Yeah.
It's been remixed by a few people, and from what I understand, there were a few remixes that sort of popped up out of nowhere that you hadn't a clue of.
I haven't even heard any of the remixes, I have to say. I mean, I'm in love with the original. I'm so happy that's coming out, that song, because it's actually, we recorded it before As the Rush Comes, and it's just been tied up for a long time. So I'm really excited for that one to come out. But yeah, I know there's been a lot of remixes, and I know they're working on some more as well. So.
One of the producers that did remix that was a New York City group called Philo and Perry. Yes. Do you know of them?
I sure do.
What are your impressions of them?
No, I love them. Actually, I was going to do a track with them a while ago, and I just was so busy that I didn't. But hey, I'm from New York. Gotta be good.
I'm sure they're waiting for you to actually do that.
Oh yeah, I haven't met them actually, so I will look forward to it.
Now, if you had the chance to work with anyone, inside or outside the electronic scene, who would it be?
Oh boy, well, there's so many people I would like to work with. Oh boy, I would definitely.
Oh, the Warehouse.
To work with. Oh, the Warehouse. Yes. I'm working with some great people right now. Steve Sidelnik and Sean Spuler, who worked on Ray of Light. Steve was in Massive Attack. They worked on Blur, No Doubt, with William Orbit. So they're really great. I mean, I've been trying to work with them for 7 years. I finally got to work with them. So they're definitely one of them. I love Marius de Vries, who did a lot of Bjork, Mirrorways, he's French, did Madonna, Stuart Price. There's so many. I also like a lot of old school people as well, more rock oriented. Don Was. Caught me off guard there, but there's so many which I hope to be able to meet and work with. So.
Now, if you look to your future and what you've gone through in your past, do you see any sort of trend in which you see yourself progressing as? Or is it sort of, oh, whatever happens, happens?
I'm really trying to, I really think that dance music is not going away. I think it's really coming to the forefront. It's just slowly getting there, and I really want to be one of the people to somehow cross it over into the mainstream in a way, at least to reach people, you know, by combining what I come from and where I am now. So that's what I hope to do. And I see it. I mean, everybody says it's sort of going away, but I don't feel that from the constant work I'm, doing. So just really want to put together the rock and the electronic, and really in a good way, in a new way, in a fresh way. There's a lot of stuff out there now, a lot of rock bands being remixed, but really when you write something for that, I think it sounds much different. So that's what I hope to accomplish with my album, and I'm really looking forward to touring that.
Now, there's so many new sounds mixed with old sounds coming out, and as most dance music goes, and most music in general, 10-year cycles, and we sort of seem to be on the way back up. Do you see anyone sort of breaking out as the new artist or style?
Well, I'm trying to do that. That's it. I'm just really focused right now, trying to create that for me. But I mean, even, with people like Tiesto that are doing these huge concerts right now, I mean, you can fill something that's 15,000 people. That's a big rock concert, if you ask me. So, but I mean, I see everybody, Deep Dish. I mean, I see a lot of the things they're doing and remixes they're doing. I mean, they're taking a lot of old songs and combining them with their sound. So I think we're all trying to do it in our own way.
There's nothing new, is there?
No, I do. I think, there's a lot of new people. I mean, James Holden's really got his own thing going on. He's really, tries to do things that are way out of the box. And I always try to do that too. I mean, I don't ever try to copy anybody. I definitely, look to the people who try to do that with their music,
Kind words for Republic and Temper Rhythm.
Oh, it's great. I've been begging them to bring me here for months. I was going to play the beginning, the opening, It's just been, I've been really after them because I had such a great time at WEMF last year. And it's interesting when you travel, you know, certain cities really have a lot more energy and a lot more passion for dance music. And I mean, it changes from one weekend to the next, one day to the next. You can, you know, you really feel it from where I am. And then I go back and forth to Europe and here. So I found Toronto to be a very passionate and energetic crowd. And I've had a great time today.
Have you had a chance to visit some foreign, far-off places and really been surprised by the scenes that they've had?
Oh, we've been all over. I mean, we've been to Russia, Lebanon, we've been, where else? I mean, Malta. We go to those little countries. I mean, it's definitely, I mean, and people know that it's a big scene in Europe. You know, it's a much different feeling here. But it's amazing. Lebanon was one of my favorite places to play. You know, and you find that no matter where you go, we're all brought together by one thing. And that's the music, and we're all the same, you know, really. I just played Red Rocks, and that was amazing. Denver, Colorado, really spiritual experience. 8,500 people in the mountains. Was beautiful.
And I guess just before we wrap up, because you've had quite a long weekend already to start.
Yes.
Plans for the future. What would you like to see, not only yourself, but the industry itself progress to?
Well, it's definitely changed a lot. I mean, we hold a lot more cards as artists these days, you know. I mean, I really wish on a daily basis for myself and for all the people I work with, I just want us to all, I don't like the competitive nature of it. I just wish everybody was sort of in it together. And it sort of looks that way, but when you're in it, it's hard. It's hard business, but you got to keep on going. And so I just wish that everybody would work together, be for each other. I think we could do a lot more that way.
And where specifically are you off to next?
Boy, we are going to El Salvador, Belgium. We have a lot of states in America: Atlanta, New Orleans, touring. I'm doing some tours with Tiesto. We're going to play LA, I live in LA as well as New York, so LA and New York. It's always harder to play in your hometown, but it's going to be great. Hey, this is Jess, and you're listening to DJ Amps on Amplified Radio.
Perfect. And if you could do one for This Is My Latest Track.
Sure. Hey, this is Jess, and this is my latest track on Amplified Radio.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Shut that off.
Oh my God.